We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
We're midway through the week, guys. Just hold on a little longer. We're almost there. Almost there, I tell you. Almost there. What's up, guys? This coffee is good. Tastes better than one of these mugs. I'll tell you that for free. Oh, man. Have you guys read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek? Anybody read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek? Outstanding book. Highly recommend it. One of the key concepts is that we only do about, 4 hours of real work at work. The rest is just time filler and busy work. Think about that for a minute. How much actual work do you really do on a daily basis? You know what I'm saying? When you subtract the water cooler chat and all the bullshit meetings that you go through, how many meetings do you sit through a day that could just be an email? It's almost over, guys. That's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're going to be talking about managing your bishes today. I have to say bishes, at least in the first 8 minutes of the video to avoid being demonetized on YouTube. We're also joined by our Tiki-Taki friends here today. Got our Tiki-Taki friends. You guys can't see what's going on the screen here, so head on over to YouTube. I probably can't say bishes or can't say the real word throughout this whole thing because I got TikTok here, but that's okay because TikTok drains my phone, and we'll be live on TikTok until my phone dies, at least. Hey, good morning, Ted. What's up, brother? What's up? If you guys are watching on YouTube right now, I have it right here. It says T-shirts for my cold dead hands, because I'm finally reading Ryan Stone's book, Praxeology, Volume 1 Frame right now. And I just finished the physical pillar section of his book. And he talks about men's style, right? And he's like, basically he gets to near the end of that section. And he's like, I know you like your graphic tees, but blah, blah, blah. Basically, you're not a real man if you wear graphic tees. Well, God damn it. I'm not getting rid of my graphic tees. That's like 90% of my wardrobe. Oh, man, I love Ryan. You guys, I love plugging his stuff too, right? This book, you guys need to check this out. It's actually a really good book so far. All right. So we're going to be talking about managing bishes today. Before we get into that, but this is super relevant. Last night, I was made aware of this video. Let me present this here. And I'm not doing this to crap on Modern Life Dating John here, because I actually really like MLD, and he was just on the podcast. Not this last Monday, but I think the week before. Was it the week before or the week before that? Anyway, MLD was just on the podcast. Finally got to talk to this guy. He's actually a really cool guy. Really like MLD. But I guess yesterday he was on Saucecast and he was basically ambushed, right? There's a whole panel of chicks. Allegedly, he called one of them fat in a live chat somewhere, and she planned for this. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to be on the same show as this guy. I'm going to call this guy out," right? And of course, it's a whole panel of women. And the women, have you ever heard of the concept of sisterhood uber alles? Sisterhood uber alles. It basically means like the sisterhood above all else, right? And you just start seeing like the women start piling in on John, and eventually he just has enough of it and it walks off. I mean, he did, to be fair, he does have he told them, I guess he had a 6 p.m. hard stop, so he had to leave anyway. But man, the anti-red pillars are jumping all over this. So I just want to show it here. We'll talk about, how he handled it and could he have handled it better, and this isn't to shit on John at all, like John, just putting that out there. Like John, I'd love to have him come back on the show sometime. I actually learned quite a bit from John. So let's play this real quick.
You know how it is when you're a streamer, you're in all these chats. I did like 6 shows in the last 6 days.
So just say sorry.
So just own up to being a piece of shit.
No. So I'm not. So first of all, I'm not a piece of shit.
You don't think that's piece of shit behavior?
Okay, don't talk to me like that. All right. Secondly, all right, I said what I said. I do think maybe you were 40 pounds overweight.
Sure.
So what's wrong with
So
that?
he's owning
We can
it,
match
which
each
is
other's
good.
energy.
I
All
would
wanna
own it
say was
too.
You need to like own up to your shit because it's weird that you
I
would
just
face
did.
me. Yeah,
He
after,
just
like, pulling
did.
teeth. Are you good?
No, after you talking
But
over
see,
me and
the
freaking
thing about
truth
this,
dumping.
this thing about this is that these women want an apology, right? They want him to say, I'm sorry. If you're doing any kind of brand management at all, like apologizing won't help you at all. It actually puts you in a weaker position. So it's actually good that John didn't apologize here. And you don't want to right? You don't want to defend, explain, what's the other one? Evade and rationalize. You don't want to right? What a good way to handle a situation like this would be handling it like a shit test, right? Two of the best ways that I learned to handle shit tests is to agree and amplify and be indifferent. So you can tell that he's a little upset, and I do not blame him in this circumstance. I mean, like if you don't expect to get piled on by like everybody in the group, like how would you act in that situation, right? You have to put yourself in his shoes. Would you be like super cool under pressure? I don't know that I would. Yeah, nurse chick's in the house. What's up, babe? Fun fact. It all looks the same on the floor. Oh, she's talking about my t-shirt. It all comes down to frame in the end. A simp in a suit is a simp in a suit. That's right, babe. That's right. Anyway, so he's not defending himself. He actually said, yeah, I probably did say that. You know, if you are 40 pounds overweight, right? So I would have owned it too, I think. Like if I specifically called it that chick fat, right? So if you backtrack a little bit here, I don't want to take up the whole show with this, but if you backtrack a little bit, she first calls him out on it, and he's like, I didn't say that. Did I say that? Right? It's basically sort of acting ignorant on the situation. I don't know if I would have done that unless he truly didn't know, or he, it really wasn't him, right? Because a lot of us guys, especially us guys on Rule Zero, we have these like fakers in the comments on our YouTube channels, right? There's this guy Billy that follows us around. He's actually not a bad guy, but he likes to like impersonate us in the chat. Like he'll change his profile to be us in the chat, and we'll have no idea. We'll have no idea that we're doing that, or I'm sorry, we don't know who's real or who's not half the time, right? You have to go through and like see if it's the real account or not, right? Now, the lady on Valuetainment, the producer, she said it was definitely him. So in that case, I would have been like, yeah, I called you fat. Yeah. Right. And then I probably would have done a little bit of fogging there, right? Where she's like, oh, you going after me and stuff, and be like, yeah, I can understand why you might be upset by that. Yeah, I mean, no, most people probably wouldn't like being called fat. I can understand your feelings on the situation, right? And just let her eat herself, right? If she's just going after you and attacking you and stuff like that, especially on a show like this, it actually makes her look bad in front of the audience, because they're like, geez, why won't she let it go if he's not being reactive to it? You see what I'm saying? That's one way to handle your bishes. So let's keep playing. I'll show you guys what the hubbub's all about, and then we'll move on.
Did I say that? I don't know what I said. See what I
you
said? I don't know
pick
what
these
I said.
words and like you throw them on people. But if I acted the way you act, you would demonize me. If I literally attacked you the way you attacked me, if I said the things,
I think this chick in the black there, I think her name's Angela Knight.
Oh, that's fighting words. But yet, a woman
So
says
she's the one that he called fat,
she's
apparently.
She's emotional. But
I didn't call you any of those
where's
things.
the vein coming out of my neck?
Do you guys think she's fat?
Right now that, oh,
I don't know.
mad.
I don't know her.
And
And it's hard to tell from this angle. And she's wearing
manly,
black,
but yet you sit here and shame women. Oh, I can't wait to go back to Japan. I just think there again, you're leading a bunch of cows to follow you. And you're like, yeah, this is how men should act. That's not how men in my family and in my
Louise,
life act. And it's so unattractive that you think that's
I like
normal.
MLD.
So you are
right? He is getting called out lately, but all of Red Pill's getting shit on lately. And Rolo thinks it's because it's the political cycle.
In your opinion?
We walked in the green room. All you had to do was say, hey, no hard feelings. I was just on the little juice a little bit. I was tripping. My bad. I would have been like, all right, bro, like all fair is word. That's fine. I would have dropped it. But the fact that you walk in the room, you don't address it, you sit here, it's like awkward. I'm like, this is how, again, people like you want women to
see how
submit
emotional
to
she's
this
getting.
garbage
If you
nonsense.
are
And you're, women are
unreactive
not
to this,
submissive. Why would I submit?
if
to
you're
that
if
type of
you're
activity?
like if you stay
again,
cool
this is
and
show
you know
business,
just
that's fine.
agree and
You're
amplify,
totally entitled to that.
flogging,
I'll give
acting
you,
different,
you know,
like just
I
how
don't
you
even know
handle
who she
normal shit
is.
tests,
What else in the
she'll
waiting
eat
room?
herself
That's the
alive.
whole
Point.
my God. You are meant for the camera, my friend. You are something else. You
Right?
don't know
So
who she
see
was
how
when you were
notice how
in
the
chat?
producer is getting in on it too, right?
Introducing one lion.
She's getting in on it too.
Designed
She's
for a royal
yeah.
shave.
Let's remove the commercial from the stream for a minute. She's getting in on it too, right? That's the whole sisterhood Uber Alice situation.
Camera
Fine.
in
There we
the
go.
back room.
No, it's okay.
All right. Well, how about this?
Oh my God.
Is there anything you would like to
exposed
take
yourself.
back or
Good job.
apologize? Whatever you want.
No, not
Yeah,
as-
see,
after being treated
apologizing
like
in
that,
this
absolutely
situation
not. I'm
would
gonna
not
be
help,
talked down
especially in
to
brand
by, like
management.
some child that has no decency to communicate with me in a respectful manner.
It starts with you. What
Okay.
man leads a relationship like that? You don't even
She's
have to
not
lead
talking
a
down
general
though.
space.
All right, you guys are better than me. You win. Cool. Next
Okay.
question. please.
Amazing.
Anyway,
She's not talking down to you. She's a
you guys
she's
good?
a
Yeah,
funny
he's
girl.
You
clearly
good?
getting upset,
All
which
right.
I mean, I
had
don't
like
blame
3
him.
more
I
topics
don't
to get
blame
to,
him.
but I'm sitting
I
there
don't blame him. I
listening.
mean, that would be a crappy
Anyway,
situation,
I hope
you
you
know.
guys at least after the show can hug it out. I don't know if that's possible.
I got a
Maybe
hard out
mud
at 6. I
wrestle.
told you.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
so
gotta get
here's
going.
where he says,
Anyway,
I have a hard
guys,
out
I
at
hope you
6.
enjoyed this
Okay.
last segment. This came out of nowhere. This is live TV, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect that happening, but I hope you guys genuinely can figure
But
this out. after the
understand,
show.
like women,
No hard feelings.
so
I understand where you're at.
this
I understand where
situation
you're at.
aside, when you're out on the dating circuit, and then also once you get into a relationship, women will test you like this to see how you react. Okay. If you can handle it well, they test you less. You know what I mean? But all women test men either consciously or subconsciously. And some guys will argue with me on it. They're like, no, F that. If she's testing me, she's out. Okay. The next chick's going to test you too, bro. The next chick is going to test you too. Okay. You can't avoid it. So you might as well learn how to deal with it. All right. Get this book. Get this book.
Natalia,
Yeah.
final super chats. Let's get some.
Okay,
some
she
winners
goes
and
through the
go to
super
happy
chats
ending,
here,
we're gonna
and then
wrap
like
up
in the
for
middle of
today.
the super chats is
So
where
I will
he
go
walks
through.
off. So we'll
Let's
we'll
see where
leave
to
after
start.
this.
I'll start with the one on my screen right here. Being cheeks, I never subbed to Angela or MLD, but Angela got my vote for the for the roast. Typical red pill guys never take accountability for the same way OnlyFans girls in their future. Then we have this one. Being cheeks, have more enthusiasm reading the chat. I will. Then we have full we Todd. Divorce is actually worse.
I
than
really wish
average
that these
men. They
guys would
end
use
up
StreamYard,
lying,
you
in
know,
their
or
cars
even if they
and,
used
sitting on earth
was
for
it,
men fully self-destructive.
Restream,
Sorry, it was
you know,
a
so
little
that they could
blurry
actually
on
pull the
here.
super chats up
Then
on the
we
screen. I
have,
hate the
Redo,
shows where they
Hold on,
read the
guys.
super chats out loud.
As we're doing this,
She doesn't even do that
production
good of a
team,
job
real
of
quick,
it.
I know we're wrapping up. MLD literally has to go. He's not walking off. He said
See,
at
he's
6
not
o'clock he
walking
needed to-
off.
to
I mean, he
hard
does
out
walk
at 6
off,
o'clock
but
right now.
he does have to go.
MLD, final words before you run off. I don't want to go out like this. Anything you would like to say before you do?
I got nothing to say.
See? My point.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
So he
Joey?
leaves.
Let's make sure he gets out safely.
Make sure he gets out safely. Why would he not get out safely? Is their studio dangerous? I don't get it. Anyway, that happened last night. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit because today we are going to be talking about how to manage your bishes. Before we do that, though, we got a super chat. You see Valuetainment? See how I can pull this up here with StreamYard? So much better with that. My man Nathan with the $2 super chat. You get this, buddy. We are after the 8-minute mark, so you get.
I was just gonna say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
This guy fucks. You guys that are watching on TikTok right now, you can't see the super chat or hear the cool soundbite. So head on over to YouTube. All right. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, man. So, yeah. So that was that. Yeah. See, I don't understand the red pill guys that are like, you got to check these women. You got to check these women, right? Because that's what he's doing. He's checking these women. He's like, you don't talk to me that way, right? But those women don't know him, right? And they clearly don't have respect for him already. And so him doing that just kind of makes him look like a jerk, in my opinion. I much prefer and I guess resonate better with the whole idea of agree and amplify and act indifferent, right? Or even fogging, right? Or amuse mastery. All those things would have helped him in that situation, you know? If he would have just like laughed at the situation, like it's so cute that you guys think that. It's so cute, you know. He probably would have handled it better. All right, we gotta get through this housekeeping, guys. If you guys haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. The chat's in subscriber only mode, so if you guys want to sound off in the chat, you guys need to subscribe. So please do that. I do lives every Wednesday and Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sound off in the chat as well, because you know these go by quicker when you guys are engaging. I appreciate that. Otherwise, if you're watching the replay, drop a comment below. And if you guys listen on your favorite audio platform of choice, then leave us a 5-star review because it helps us more than you know. Get on, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good ones. I actually have 2 TikTok accounts. My main TikTok account at Come On Man Pod is totally shadow banned. Nobody sees that anymore. So follow me at Best Men's Pod on TikTok. That's where I'm live right now. Get on the Patreon, patreon.com/ComeOnManPod. You can join for as little as $10. And then if you guys want any kind of coaching, you can join tiers 2 or tiers 3. It's probably the most affordable coaching out there because I know I'm not charging enough. But check that out. And then you also, for the $10, you get on the beer credits on Monday's episodes. And then you get all of Monday's episodes ad-free. So just the interview portions, you know, just the meat, none of the bread. And then send a super chat. Super chats actually help out the show probably more than anything else. So if you guys really like my content, you get some value out of it, send a super chat or a super sticker. You can send one for as little as $1. Get on the email list, list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you some free stickers for your troubles. For you guys that are on the Tiki-Takis right now, we got stickers here. If you guys like those stickers, they're available on merch as well at merch.comeonmanpod.com. Let these bitches know you're not a nice guy, you know. Plus, your coffee tastes better in these mugs. Also have some hats available at merch.comeonmanpod.com. And then finally, check out my practical law of attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. It's chick crack free. There's no crystals or chakras or genies granting wishes. It's all a mindset course. And you know, I just sold one yesterday, and people are taking advantage of the fact that I'm giving everyone $100 off the course with code MayMindset for the rest of the month. And the month's ending here pretty quick. So if you guys have been thinking about doing it, time's running out. Get on that right now. I'll play a commercial for that, and then we'll get into the topic at hand today. Are you struggling to find a good quality woman? They are very rare indeed these days. If you spend any time at all watching content in the men's podcast space, or you spend time on dating apps or going out to clubs, you're seeing low-quality, promiscuous women. You're finding women with daddy issues and personality disorders, or a myriad of other red flags, and you are frustrated. I get it, brother, but what if I were to tell you that the reason why you're only seeing these types of women is because of your mindset, because of your paradigm? We get what we focus on in life, and you have trained your mind to focus on the type of women that you don't want. So those are the types of women that keep showing up for you again and again. Let's change that mindset today. If you're a guy looking to attract high-quality, submissive women into your life, then I've got the perfect solution for you. And let me tell you, brother, it's all about mindset. That's right. You've got to reprogram your thinking to focus on the type of women you do want. That's where my Practical Law of Attraction course comes in. It's packed with proven psychology-based techniques that will help you manifest your dream woman. Trust me, you won't find this stuff anywhere else. Explained in such a simple, easy-to-use way. And let me tell you, when you start using these methods, you'll be amazed at how quickly things start changing for you. Picture this. You're out on the town, feeling confident and magnetic. All the women are drawn to you like moths to a flame. And best of all, you're attracting the type of women that are submissive and high quality. It's not that they weren't there before. That you weren't aware of them before. My course will teach you how to be more hyper aware of the kind of women that you actually want. It will teach you to believe that you're the most attractive man around. And when you believe it, you'll carry yourself that way. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for my course today. Visit loa.comeonmanpod.com. That's loa.comeonmanpod.com. Start living the life you've always dreamed of. Don't miss out on this opportunity to up your game and find the woman of your dreams. The law of attraction is nothing without action. So what are you waiting for? Act now. Act now, guys. Act now. Remember, get $100 off with code MAYMindset at checkout. The link's in the description too. All right. So we are going to be talking about how to manage your bishes today. So there's this post. It's from 2015 by a guy that goes by HumanSockPuppet. It's funny. Like, most people, they think of red pill and they think of, guys like MLD, they think of, Rich Cooper, and they think of Fresh and Fit, right? And, some of those guys are truly red pill, right? Those guys really are red pill. Then there's other like douchebags, douche nozzles on the internet that don't even read the material, right? They hear another person talking about, let's say, like Rollo's work, and they misquote it, and they sort of filter it for their own narrative, and then people who are too lazy to read hear that and go, "Oh yeah, that's what red pill is." And they have no idea that there's like 20 plus years of work, and it's not just Rollo doing it, right? There's all these guys in, especially on Reddit, and a lot of the old Reddit, the old red pill subreddits, like they got quarantined. So a lot of guys in the space, they went ahead and archived all the old posts, but all these old posts are out there, right? And most of these aren't about hating women. It's about understanding them and how to properly navigate, sexual dynamics. Okay. That's really what it comes down to. And so a lot of people, like, they hear about red pill, they see a red pill content creator, and they're immediately looking for anything that they could use to attack them, right? Destiny's doing that really good right now. And then this video earlier with MLD, doesn't help the cause that much. So I thought what I would do is, and I've done a couple of these already, but I thought a good thing I would do is sort of bring some of these older forum posts to the limelight again, right? Because what's old is new again. There's always new people come into space that haven't heard of this stuff, right? So there's a website called theredarchive.com where you can find like all the old posts, okay? And they all got archived here in case Reddit ever decides to just completely like delete the old forum posts and stuff like that. So they're sort of memorialized here. And this post here, HumanSockPuppet's Guide to Managing Your Bishes, it was a required reading. So if you ever hear of a red pillar talk about the sidebar, oh, you need to read the sidebar, right? That's because on Reddit, there's a side navigation area, and there's links to required reading. Like if you read this, you'll have a better understanding of what red pill really is. Okay. This was one of those posts. So Guide to Manage Your Bishes. I'm not going to read it verbatim. We're just going to go through some of these key concepts. The link's in the description if you guys really want to go through and read this, and I highly recommend it. Yeah, the OGs from the TRP Reddit and So Swab days had the best RP content. Yeah. I mean, even a lot of Rollo's work came out of So Suave, right? And the funny thing is that a lot of guys that subscribe to the podcast and follow me, they wouldn't consider themselves red pill. But the thing is that's what red pill is, right? A lot of the guys that follow me came from the 3% Man Facebook group where we were in there swapping notes. Hey, we're going on dates. We're making date updates. These guys called it field reports, right? We called them date updates. Same thing, right? We're just in there swapping notes. Hey, this worked well. This didn't. Hey, did this work well for you? I tried this out of the book. Did it work well for you? That's red pill. Men swapping notes. Okay. It's not about hating women. It's about what's most effective. Right? When dealing with these women. Oh, I see Benny in there. Hey, Benny, I'm live on YouTube, brother. Come on over. Sound off in the chat. Okay. So he starts off, right, with some disclaimers, right? He says, in order to sustain a prosperous relationship with a girl, you must be comfortable with bossing her around, being a bona fide patriarch. You don't have to be a master of your emotions yet, but at the very least, you must be willing to be firm with her, give her orders, tell her no, even against a flood of tears. Why? Because ultimately women get their behavioral cues from men. All right. That's true a little bit. You don't have to be a dick about it. But one thing that I did find after reading Dr. Robert Glover's work was that women respond very well to you telling them to do stuff, right? And you don't have to say it in a dickish manner, right? But like, let's say when I set up dates, I wouldn't ask them on a date. I wouldn't, recommend a date. I would say, when are you free to get together? Great. Meet me at this place at this time. I'm telling them to meet me. And when I started doing that, I would get so many more yeses when asking women out on a date, right? Because I'm telling them what to do. It's actually setting the tone and taking the lead. Right. So telling them what to do, they actually respond very well to that, especially if you do it in a tactful way. Right. If you're not being a dick about it. And then also not being afraid to tell a woman no is actually magical. Right. Because women want to know that they can't get they want to know that you're not a pushover. You know, they want to know that they can't have their way with you. And when they do that, that's one of the reasons why they test you. Right. They test you, and if you can tell them no and stand your ground, like that actually builds attraction in women. They're like, oh, I can't get my way with this guy. What's this guy all about, right? Because so many, like 97% of other guys out there are simping over her and just doing whatever she wants because they want to make her happy and stuff, right? So if you don't do that, by definition, you're setting yourself apart from most other guys out there. You know what I mean? So that's another thing too. And then also women are often like mirrors. They're also often like mirrors of their men, So if you can properly lead a woman, she'll relax into her feminine when and she'll feel safe and secure in the relationship because she's found a strong man that will actually set the tone and lead. Right. All right. 2, a long-term relationship cannot be your end goal. You can only be open to the possibility of having one. All right. Most guys out there, I would say, want a steady girlfriend. Most guys do. Most guys aren't trying to build a harem or trying to be permanent plate spinners. All right. And there are guys in this space that sort of advocate for that. Oh, you're not an alpha male unless you have 20 women, right? Or you got a million side chicks, right? That be your own mental point of origin. Do what's best for you. Okay. But the thing is with this, and it took me a while to learn this, right? What I found the second time I was on my dating circuit, I talk about this a lot in the podcast, was I was in shape. It was easy to get dates. It was easy to hook up, but I couldn't keep chicks around longer than the 3rd or 4th date, right? Why? Because I was a needy little bitch. Okay. I was the guy that was pushing for a relationship. I was the guy that was like trying to lock her down, trying to be like, okay, so what are we? Are we exclusive? Like, what are you seeing anybody? Like that's unattractive to women. A lot of times it's subconscious too. Women are like, they're open to a long-term relationship. They're not open to it in the first 2 dates. Right. So if you're the one pushing for a relationship, you look weak, man. You look weak. So it has to be her idea. Right? It has to be her idea. She needs to come to that conclusion on her own. And typically that happens around the 7th or 8th date on average. And so if you just hang out, bring the fun, hook up, that could also be construed as, making out with her and stuff too. If you want to be one of those guys that's not sleeping around with a bunch of women, just making out with them, having fun. Right. But I do highly recommend you sleep around. Just wrap that rascal. Okay. But just do that. That's your only job in the beginning of any relationship. Right. And you want to be doing this with multiple women at once. It's the most efficient way to date. And then the ones you like, even if you do like them and you're like, you could see yourself in a long-term relationship, you still need to let them come to that conclusion on their own. Okay. So it can't be your ultimate goal. You've got to let them come to that on their own. Right. So he says here, winning a LTR is her problem, not yours. Right. And a lot of this too comes down to the concept, which we'll get into, but the concept is that women are the gatekeepers to sex. Men are the gatekeepers to relationships. Most people don't realize that, and they don't realize that they have that kind of control and power. So you want to let her lock you down, right? Okay, this guide will be far less effective if you're already married. The reason being that it's less effective if you're married is you don't have the ability to next her as well, right? One of your biggest tools in your relationship toolbox is your ability to walk away, right? Or remove your time and attention, okay? Because our time and attention is currency. And if you're married, right? If you're married, like, where are you going to walk to? You can't stay away forever, right? She's in your house. So it's less effective if you're already married. There are some tools out there, right? There's a whole married red pill out there where it gives you really good advice when it comes to navigating a married relationship. But this guide here is most effective when you're still single. Okay. And it says here, you may want a woman, but women need you. The problem with marriage is that it strips you of the ability to completely walk away. Sure, you could still get a divorce, but not without shooting yourself in the foot, possibly losing your children and a significant portion of your hard-earned assets in the process. Our current social climate is not amenable to marriage. If you're already married, you have my condolences. If you're not married but plan on it, then you're a moron and you have no one to blame but yourself when your mistake comes back to bite you in the ass. And bite you it will. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I don't advocate for marriage at all. I just think it's a bad idea in today's climate, right? But if that's what your ultimate end goal is, just do your own research, talk to a lawyer, learn how to best protect yourself, but you're not going to get out unscathed. That's for sure. Ted says, or as RP Thor says, down the hatch, the ass. Yeah, Thor's a good dude. Okay. As a man, your time and effort is your most valuable asset. You use it to get shit done. Most often shit that's related to your mission. When you give that time to someone else, it is a tremendous gift, which should be appreciated and respected. Patrice O'Neal has a stand-up bit. And Patrice O'Neal is sort of like a red pill old schooler, or old school red pillar, I guess I should say. He has this whole bit about how, when you force yourself physically on a woman, that's we have to say it like this because it's YouTube, but it's grape, right? You're doing it against her will. It's grape. He goes, well, when a woman is occupying your time against your will, she's graping you. You got to think about it that way. Your time is valuable and it's currency to women. And women look at guys who give away their time and attention like freely, the same way we look at women that give sex away freely. Right? I learned that from Alan Roger Curry. A guy that's giving away his time and attention too easily is looked at like the same way men look at women that give away their sex too easily. You know what I mean? So you want to take your time and attention very seriously, especially early on in the relationship. You want to not see her more than like once a week. You want to be busy. You want to not be so eager to answer text messages, not so easy to return phone calls. You know what I mean? Because you want to be about your purpose. You want to be on a mission. That's actually more attractive. Well, right? It also, it's like the law of supply and demand, right? And scarcity. The more scarce your time is, the more valuable your time becomes. You see what I'm saying? All right. This is a key principle behind bish management. You must demand that a girl appreciate and respect your time, right? Definitions, an overview of ranks. We'll skip ahead here. I'll let you guys, the links in the description for this if you guys want to read this whole thing. So I'm just going to try to skip around just, for the sake of time. But so he's got ranks for girls, right? Level 0 is one night stand or a pump and dump. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Level 1 is a plate or an F buddy, fuck buddy. Right. And then level 2, you got friends with benefits, friends with benefits. Level 3 is a significant other or a girlfriend. Okay. Strategy, how she plays the game. The game itself is quite simple. A girl begins a game at level 0 or 1, depending on the context in which you two met. If you met in a club or began as total strangers grinding against each other at a house party, she's level 0. Okay. If you met in a slightly more sociable manner, perhaps introduced by mutual friends, or she impressed you with her pleasant demeanor after you opened her at the local cafe, she's level 1. She can also bump up from level 0 to 1 if she reaches out and maintains pleasant and reasonable contact with you after a casual sexual encounter. You know, this is actually kind of funny. I had a dating coach friend of mine on the podcast. Goes by Evan. His content on TikTok is performance potential. He's got a pretty big following. And one of the things that he talks about is, you know, because I always recommend that guys keep initial dates low investment, drinks only, right? And he was saying that he typically recommends that too, unless he's met you at a coffee shop or something like that. And he's actually had a conversation with you ahead of time, because then he doesn't mind going straight to dinner because he already has a good understanding of who you are as a person. So that makes sense, right? That's the difference between a level 0 and a level 1 person. A chick you just met on a dating app is at level 0, right? Yeah. If you're not getting sex in return for her getting your time, you're just her girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah. Women either have boyfriends or girlfriends, right? If you're not having sex with her, you're her girlfriend. That's really what that comes down to. That's for sure. Okay. From that point on, girl must perform non-sexual services for you in order to advance in rank, right? So that's like, if she wants to advance in rank, she's got to do nice things for you, like cooking you a healthy meal, treat you out someplace, buy you a well thought out gift, hand making you an artistic gift, right? Doing something thoughtful. The reason why, I'm not going to get into all this, but basically the reason why you need those types of acts of service to level her up is because sex by itself is nothing, right? Women can easily have sex. They can easily give it away. It's really like, it's not even that big of a deal for a woman to do that, right? And women could like literally yell out their apartment window and say, I'm horny, someone come and bang me, and they'll have 20 dudes come up and do that, right? That's not as easy for men. Most men can't do stuff like that, right? But women could do that. So them offering sex as currency it's not that valuable, right? Them doing nice things for you, cleaning your house, making you a meal, that's more valuable. So that's how she needs to level up, right? That's how she needs to prove herself to you. And he basically says that here. Why do they have to be non-sexual? Because a girl doesn't have to exert any effort at all to have sex. If she's attractive enough, all she needs to do to get sex is show up. Someone will bang her if she makes herself available. I would say that even a woman that's not that attractive, someone will still bang them, right? Strategy, punishment and demotion. Okay, punishment. You can't punish women. You can't say that. That's misogynist. Okay. There has to be consequences to bad behavior, right? So he says punishment. There are many ways in which a girl can make a mistake and upset you. Maybe she starches your shirts too much, or she burns the dinner she was making for you. These kinds of mistakes should not be punished with demotion, because despite her mistake, she is investing time and effort in you. You can think of a suitable punishment and repayment for your lost shirt without going to the extreme of knocking her down a rank. Instead, demotable offenses should be offenses that are an affront to your dignity, your authority, or your time and effort you have invested in her, right? Offenses can be intentional or unintentional. So unintentional offenses will usually come in the form of some indiscretion on her part as she slowly loses attraction for you. Her conscious effort wanes and she slips back into her natural hypergamous state. Some examples of unintentional offenses are unconditionally being too flirty with another guy, right? Failing to keep an important promise, neglecting some important duty that you have assigned to her, or frequency of sex decreases, right? She absently evades when you try to initiate sex, okay? Committing an unintentional offense should typically result in the demotion of the girl by 1 rank. Intentional offenses are far more vulgar than their counterparts. Okay. In some cases, some extreme cases, they may even occur in the presence of friends and family, making them vindictive attacks against your reputation or dignity. Some examples are consciously flirting with another guy, trying to arouse jealousy in you, openly insulting you, frequency of sex decreases, and she consciously and vehemently evades when you try to initiate sex or talk about it. So committing an intentional offense should result in the demotion of the girl by 2 ranks. Committing a vindictive act against your reputation should result in a loss of 3 ranks. Okay. Now the next part is important, so pay attention. Once a girl has been demoted, her current level becomes the maximum level she can ever be at again. So I talk about this a lot, right? Like when a girl breaks up with you, right? And then comes sniffing back around, that means that she went off to try to find another guy, and that didn't work out for her. So now she's returning back to you as her plan B option. You should take that as an insult. You should take that as an absolute insult. You can spin her as a plate, but she can never be more than that, right? You should never take a woman back like that. Ever. Ever. Okay. She's been permanently demoted at that point. Okay. Because that was an intentional move on her part. All right. Once a girl's been demoted, it becomes the maximum level she could ever be at again. Right. So some examples of transgressions and appropriate punishments. You got a plate. Level 1, that who fails to provide sex on demand drops to a rank of 0, and she is replaced by a plate who will. A friend with benefits, right, who remorselessly loses your expensive digital camera drops 1 rank and becomes a plate forevermore. A girlfriend who drunkenly humiliates you in front of your friends at a party drops 3 ranks to level 0, and you quietly disappear and move on. Yeah, if a girl like just completely humiliates you in public, there's no reason to keep her around, man. Like that level of disrespect to just completely shit on you in front of like friends and family and stuff like that, drop her. Drop her right there. All right. Okay, we'll skip ahead here a little bit. So naturalizing the process. As you learn the rhythm of using rewards and punishments to keep your bish enthralled, you'll develop an intuition for how to play your part in the game. The process will become second nature to you. You'll naturally become bored with women who fail to show you the proper appreciation and gravitate towards the ones who make your life more pleasant. That's the ultimate goal here, to make you a natural. You'll never say to your bish, you're a level 1 plate now, or you're going down a rank for that shit, right? The system's for you. So you have an abstract model to which to understand the game until managing bishes becomes as natural to you as breathing or blowing a load in her face. That's funny. So that's the game, guys. It's all about managing your women with a series of rewards and punishments, right? Right? It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Now, of course, he uses some harsh language in there, right? He calls the women bishes, and like if that might not be your thing, and that's fine. I don't typically refer to women as bishes either. But if you take the tone out of it and read it for context, it makes a lot of sense, right? Right? You want to reward good behavior and not reward bad behavior. Too many guys are rewarding bad behavior. You know what I mean? Yes, operant conditioning at its finest, the cycle of rewards and punishments. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's a lot like when you're dealing with children. Right? You're dealing with children. You don't reward good behavior. If they're throwing a temper tantrum in the supermarket, you grab their hands and go, we're leaving, right? We're not sticking around here where you're having a meltdown in public. Okay. Same thing with your girl, right? You got to remove your time and attention and demote her, right? Your time and attention is your currency. That's like, so women like weaponize sex a lot for guys. They weaponize sex. Men can absolutely weaponize our time and attention, right? A woman doesn't owe us sex. Well, we don't owe them time and attention either. Okay. So that's a lot of that is your trump card. Okay. Because women, they absolutely need a man in their life. They say, "Oh, I don't need a man. I want a man." That's complete nonsense. Yeah. What do you say if a woman comes talking to you crazy from the jump? Yeah, she has no respect for you. Absolutely. If you go back to the beginning of the episode when I talk about MLD, right? And like, you know, not to crap on MLD at all, but none of those women on the panel had any respect for him from the jump. And so they were, you know, so he removed his time and attention, but him doing that sort of made him look bad because it was on live TV, you know. It was on live YouTube. So that it didn't help his case at all. But in reality, if you were in a situation like that, you would want to remove your time and attention, right? You don't need to tolerate that kind of stuff from these women. You know, a woman's like dressing you down completely disrespectfully. You don't need that, right? Your time's valuable. You want to spend time with women that value your time, that are, you know, like I always say, like you want to walk through open doors, right? You want to spend time with women that are treating you nice. And that's a lot of what he's talking about here, right? When you remove the whole, you know, calling women bitches and stuff, it's all about rewarding, like, and leveling up women in your life that do nice things for you, that invest in you. And some of that stuff is, like he says here, is, you know, cooking you a healthy meal, treating you out someplace, you know, buying you a well thought out gift, stuff like that. Doing just nice things for you. Like Nurse Chick, I think I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. She had COVID. She was feeling like absolute dog crap. And I just woke it up. I was checking my phone like I usually do first thing in the morning. And she was asleep and she's like, "Oh, do you want some coffee?" I was like, "Oh, I'd love some." She gets up, goes, makes me coffee, comes back, gives me the coffee, and then goes back to bed. Right? I thought she was getting up for the day and just making us both coffee. Nope. She got up and specifically made me coffee and went to bed. That is a girl that's offering you non-sexual services that deserves the higher rank. Right? She's actually investing in you. And then you have all these, you know, these, oh, we're on TikTok. We can't say the F word. It rhymes with eminist. We have these feminists out there that they're like, "Oh, men just want us for they just want a housemaid," right? They just want a housemaid. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about investment, right? Women want us to invest all of our time, attention, and money into them, but the very least they could do is invest a little bit of these acts of service, you know, because like he says in there, sex is meaningless, really, if you get down to it. You know, sex isn't a currency for women because they have it abundantly. They have it abundantly, right? We don't have time and attention abundantly. So us giving them time and attention, that's our currency. So that's really what that comes down to. Let's see. Women instinctively use push-pull to keep you on the hook. Learn to use their strategy to your favor. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's it, guys. I highly recommend reading the whole thing. Oh, hey, what's Louis say? A woman needs to prove herself to you before you care. Only invest your energy once she does. Yeah. Yeah. See, a lot of guys are trying to, like, especially in the dating circuit, a lot of guys are trying to qualify themselves to women. They're trying to go out and make her like him. And that's the wrong mindset to go into dating. You want to go into dating with the mindset of she's applying for the job, right? You're the buyer, she's the seller. You want to have that mental frame when you go into a date. And when you do that, you'll actually have a much better time on the dating circuit, right? Because a lot of guys are going out on the dating circuit trying to do the opposite. And they're getting so frustrated because they come across actually as needy. They're trying to qualify themselves to these women, and these women are just like, ugh, right? Where are all the real men at? But if you go in there with that mentality, they will look at you like you're a real man, right? Yes, you got to be the prize. Be the prize. That's right. Oh, Blake says, I'm 30 minutes behind. Yes, Lady in Black is clearly overweight. Oh, is she? You can't fat shame her though, Blake. You can't fat shame her. You can't possibly tell a woman that she's overweight anymore, can you? Man, I'm not overweight. Okay. Maybe a little bit, technically, if you go by BMI, but I got a lot of muscle mass. Look at these guns here. No. But people call me fat all the time, man, especially, and they give me shit because I'm bald and stuff like that. If I went on every show complaining about people that talk shit about how I looked, man, I just look like a complete dipshit. So I don't care. People say what they want. Ryan Stone says I can't wear graphic tees. That's funny. Yeah. One thing that I will say though, I don't recommend guys going out there and just basically insulting women for their looks. You know what I mean? That's kind of a catty thing to do. That's like women do that. Women make fun of other women for their looks, Like I don't recommend you do that. You can do that if you want, but sometimes I'll put a post out there talking about, hitting the wall or whatever, but that's largely just for engagement. Oh man. All right. So we're at about 50 minutes here. I don't have too much else. I went through the post. I highly recommend you guys read it. The link's in the description here. If you guys are watching on TikTok right now, head on over to YouTube, watch the replay. Link's in the description. Read that article. It's actually pretty good. And if you guys are too sensitive about calling women the bishes, just mentally change the word in your head and relax. Just relax. Okay. Good Lord. People get so offended these days. What was it? Yeah. Well, men give each other shit and don't mean it. Women give each other compliments and don't mean it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. So that's pretty much all I got. Kind of a shorter episode today. Be sure to tune in Friday. Friday's live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I put out a tweet Monday with a hot chick with tattoos, like I usually do, and ask, how would you open, right? The classic Twitter game, right? And some of the answers were just absolutely horrendous, right? And it's not even that they're just bad openers. Some of these guys are like super creepy. Like they're talking about like unaliving this chick because she smiled at them. Like, what is wrong with you guys out there? Good Lord. This is why like the red pill gets a bad name, because of douche nozzles like you guys that comment on pictures like that. So we're gonna go through some of these comments that I got, because this I think it has like 600,000 views right now. This tweet, and so check that out on Friday. We're gonna go through some of the worst answers, okay? Because there's like I'll say this: there's no right answer for that game. You know what I mean? Like the how would you open? There's no right answer, but there's definitely wrong answers. And we're going to go through some of the best and some of the worst. And most of them are bad. Most of them are absolutely horrendous. And so we're going to go through all of that today. Like, I get it. You don't like chicks with tattoos because you think it's a red flag or whatever. But good Lord, don't murder somebody. Like, what? What is wrong with you guys? God bless. All right. So that's all I got. Let's go through some housekeeping. I don't see any more super chats here. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications if you haven't done so already. Thanks to everybody that sounded off in the live chat today. I appreciate it. If you guys are watching the replay on YouTube, drop a comment below. Any comment will do. Your favorite emoji, whatever. It all helps boost in the algorithm. And then if you are listening to the replay on your favorite audio platform of choice, then give us a 5-star review. Actually, write out why you like the show, and I will read that review in an upcoming episode. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. You guys that are watching right now on TikTok, I appreciate you. Next time, head on over to YouTube. It's a much better experience. TikTok sucks. Get on the Patreon, patreon.com/comeonmanpod. You can join for as little as $10. And then if you want any kind of coaching or anything like that, join tiers 2 or tiers 3. Thank you again to I think it was only Nathan that sent a super chat today. So appreciate it. Appreciate it. Super chats actually support the show probably more than anything else. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you some free stickers for your trouble. If you like those designs, they're available in coffee mugs and hats and t-shirts and all that stuff as well. I have Rule Zero merch for you guys that are Rule Zero fans. I have a Rule Zero backpack. if you guys are college students or whatever, you want a Rule Zero backpack, they're available. And then finally, check out my practical law of attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. It's if you guys have ever watched The Secret and were turned off by it because you're like, man, that's just magical thinking. Genies aren't out there granting wishes. I highly recommend that you check out the practical law of attraction course, because when you really break it down into the psychological explanation of the law of attraction, it's all about mindset. It's all about reprogramming your subconscious mind. And when you convince your subconscious mind of something, and it believes it, it will just crank away night and day like a supercomputer trying to make that a reality for you. And that's how it works. And if you guys want to learn how, check out the course. Get the course for the rest of the month for $100 off with code MayMindset. All right, that's all I got, guys. So we will end it here, and we will see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.